Good evening. First of all, I would like to thank mercy of God, great virtue of holy teachers and masters, and kindness of transmitters, lectures, temple hosts, and all of you for giving me this opportunity. Let's share and talk about the scripture from Holy Qigong teacher. This scripture is conducted by our Holy Qigong teacher on May 2020. May 2020. The location is in Taipei, cont'd Temple, which is a big temple in Taiwan. I remember that's one of our Huayi temple. So there's a temple you can see on the sketch, the picture on the right side. So that's our cont'd Temple, okay? And then that's the Holy Qigong teacher on the left-hand side. The picture on the left-hand side is our Holy Qigong teacher. So this is a scripture by our Holy Qigong teacher. And the topic is withstanding the pandemic disease, which is also our Qigong Buddha's merciful instructional scriptures. So let's continue from last class. We are on the page 7. Okay? Last time we talked about it. Holy Qigong teacher wants us to get rid of 3 poisons. Everybody should know what are the 3 poisons: the greed, anger, and stubbornness or ignorance. So these are 3 most important things we need to get rid of in our lifetime before we go back to the heaven, which we came from originally. So usually we have to get rid of all our bad temper, bad habit, attachments, desires, and then also the other things, 3 poisons. We need to get rid of it: greed, anger, and stubbornness. Everybody should remember all those stuff, okay? Ignorance. The other thing we want to get rid of, the other very important concept as a cultivator, we want to know. When Lecturer Liu talk about Buddha nature class, he always talk about this concept. So let me remind everybody, in our daily life, we're going to deal with a lot of people, things, and others. Don't create like and dislike situation. Don't create like and dislike situation. Because when we create like and dislike situation, we will create a karma. Once we have a karma, then we have a consequence. Eventually, we have to pay back. So we have to deal things and people or other stuff. When thing comes, we deal with them, or people comes, we deal with them. Once we are done with dealing with them, we let it go. We let them go. Let all the things go. Do not even think about it. Let it go. Okay? Then we don't create any karma after that. So that's very important concept as a cultivator in our daily life. Okay? Yeah. So just reminding from Lecturer Liu, always talk about this concept very, very often. So every one of us should remember that. Thank you. Let's continue. Holy teacher talk about it. Qigong Buddha talk about what are our missions? What are our missions? Our duties with current situation. So don't take them lightly. So Holy teacher basically told us, every one of us are Buddha reborn. We should not even doubt that we are the Buddha reborn. Holy teacher keep remind us, all the Buddha keep remind all of us, every one of us are Buddha or saints reborn. I know people from Nepal or from Bhutan, they know more than we do. They all know they are the Buddha reborn. But for all of us, Buddha tried to remind all of us, we are the Buddha reborn. Don't forget, okay? So each one of us, we have a duty. We have missions, okay? And then we need to save the world, save those people who has those human beings or animals will starve, because all the sentient beings, living beings are suffering. What are the living beings or sentient beings means? I mean, human beings and animals. Okay? Living beings means human beings and animals. Okay? Are suffering. What are what do they suffer now? Okay. Remember last time we talked about the chart last time? Remember we talked about this chart last time? Every one of us should remember this chart. We need to know how to draw this chart. We also teach the kids in the angel class, little kids from 5 to 12 years old. They also know how to draw this chart, okay? We are live in this earth, right? And then this is temporary heaven in the middle area, and left side is underworld, hell. And then on the top is absolute heaven, or we call permanent heaven, okay? So you can see that there's a dot line here. In this rectangular box, from earth to temporary heaven to the hell, this we call reincarnation. In this cycle, we couldn't get out from this cycle. So Buddha said, we have been reincarnating 60,000 years in this cycle, in this three locations, from earth, from the reverse to temporary heaven, to underworld. So these three areas, we do incarnate over 60,000 years. And I say, how come? How could it be? Okay, we don't even remember. Okay, so from Buddha point of view, from God point of view, all the sentient beings, human beings and animals are impeded. Impeded means inside this, in this cycle of reincarnation. Reincarnation means birth, death, rebirth. Birth, death, rebirth. So we are in here. We couldn't get out from this loop. So in order to get out this loop, we need to receive that blessing. Okay, that's the only way. Even we have a lot of merits, virtues, we still need to receive down. So people may not know that until Buddha told us. Okay, otherwise, even myself, I didn't know about that. Okay, but we are very fortunate, very lucky group to be able to receive that blessing. Okay, but that's the way we want to bring people, want to save all the spirits, all the souls, and then for them to receive Tao so they can go back with all of us to the, we call absolute heaven, or we call permanent heaven, either way, okay? Yeah, absolute heaven. So we should, every one of us should be able to draw this chart, make a three circle here, then you can know. But when people pass away, in the earth, we pass away, where did they go? Most people who haven't received Tao, they have to go to hell to report. So based on their merits and karma, we decide where they go. Some few people might go to temporary heaven, because they did so many good things, help people, save people's life, help people, they can go to temporary heaven. But there are only a very few of them. Most people are going to stay here, stay underworld to pay back their debts. Then we're reborn as a human being or animal here, okay, in the earth, okay? So only a few of them go to temporary heaven, a few, okay? Then whoever received Tao, having merits and virtue, will go back to absolute heaven, okay? But in absolute heaven, everybody can go back there with the merits and virtue. But some people do not follow the temple regulation, commit bad things, crime, all kind of stuff after they receive Tao. There's the other jail, prisons in the absolute heaven. So they will lock them there. Okay? So now everybody go back to absolute heaven, and we do certain other things to cultivate. But some people will be locked in the jail there. Okay? So we, as a Tao cultivator, we need to follow the temple regulation. We need to follow the rules. We need to do things based on conscience, based on our true nature. Okay? Don't do bad things. After we receive that, we do bad things. We may not stay in absolute heaven. Okay? There's other place to lock some people in the absolute heaven. There's the other jail there. Okay? We have a transmitter, some transmitter lectures and temple hosts are locked in this area. They cannot come out. Why do we know that? Because they came back to tell us what happened there, because so sometimes they can come down, tell us what happened there. So we want to follow the temple regulation rules, and then be a good cultivator to help people to receive Tao, to help people to join our journey in the temple. So everybody should know this chart, okay? Reincarnation of soul, of spirits, okay? And inside here, we call bitter seed, okay? In this circle, in the rectangular circle, we call bitter seed, called reincarnation, cycle of reincarnation, okay? So I'll just quickly review with everybody, okay? So here's Holy Teacher said, each one of us have a duty, mission. We need to save, rescue the world, stay with the Tao. When living being, the sentient being, human being, and animals are suffering. Suffering means they are in bitter seed. They are in the reincarnation cycle. So we need to help them. We need to save their souls, okay? Save their spirits, okay? So very important because we have received Tao. Not everybody else. We need to help them. Next one, Holy Teacher talk about it. Heaven's grace and Holy Teacher's virtues protect, bless, nourish us, because Tao is available today. Tao is available today. That's why we are lucky to receive the Heaven's grace and Holy Teacher's virtues to protect us, to bless us. Okay? The nourish means to help us promote health, growth. But because of that, we are very lucky and fortunate because of Tao. It is because Heaven's grace and Holy Teacher's virtue. That's why we are protected. We are protected. I remember about 3.5 years ago, we had a class in Taiwan. I remember we all went there. I think some people also there. I was there. Holy Teacher talked to transmitters and one of the lectures. And then, Holy Teacher said, talk to the one of the lectures. Said, do you know you always facing a lot of difficulty and challenging the issues recently? Holy Teacher talked to her. And do you feel seems at the end, everything goes smoothly. Everything was gone. Nothing happened. And Holy Teacher said, do you know I was behind you to help you to get rid of all those issues, karmas. Do you know that? Do you feel that? So basically, Holy Teacher just remind her she's behind her. But basically, Holy Teacher and Saints and Buddha always behind all of us, not just her. Not just her. Because in our lives, a lot of times we have issues with difficulty, we have challenges with our financial issues, family, jobs, or other issues. But Holy Teacher, Buddhas, and other Buddhas always behind all of us. Try to help us to reduce the big things, to reduce to the small thing. A small thing becomes nothing. So they are always there to help all of us. And I remember one time, this many years ago, and then Guan Yin Bodhisattva, probably most people know Guan Yin Bodhisattva, is a Lady Bodhisattva, talk about one thing. He said a lot of times when all the cultivators, all of us, something happened to us. If something happened to us, our Tao member, we always ask senior gene transmitter to kneel down to ask Holy Teacher to help. Or sometimes we even help ourselves. As we were near in front of the altar of the temple, we asked the help from Holy Teachers. And Guan Yin Buddha said that, Lady Buddha said that, our teacher already helped us already before even we beg for the help, before we ask for the help. Our Holy Qigong teacher already behind us to do whatever he can to help us. Okay? Already did that. So sometimes we don't see it. We don't know. Okay, but Guan Yin Bodhisattva told us, the Holy Qigong teacher always do not even wait for us to beg him to help. Qigong Living Buddha always help us immediately. But a lot of certain things, some areas we do have to take responsibility. We have to accept the karma consequence ourselves. Holy Qigong teacher cannot reduce everything for us, cannot remove every karma for us. Sometimes we have to bury the consequence because we have done what we have done in previous lives, so many previous lives and this lifetime. We make some mistake. Okay, we have to pay back. Okay, karma is very fair, cause and effect. What we have done in previous life, and this lifetime, many previous life and this life, we have to pay back. No free lunch. We have to pay back unless we have a merit or virtues to offset those bad karma. Otherwise, we have to suffer the consequence. Okay, so everybody should remember, should know that. That's why our senior gene transmitters always ask us, go out to bring people to receive that, because that's the easy way to receive the merits or credit from the heaven. Okay, but let's put it this way: when we introduce Tao or talk to Tao principle to some people, if the person receives Tao, we will get 100% credit. But if we introduce Tao to some people, and those people will not be able to receive Tao, that's okay. We have to follow their affinities, okay? But we will also receive some credit too. We will also receive some credit too, and merits too, even they don't receive Tao. As long as we're willing to talk, as long as we are willing to talk about, okay? So don't be afraid to open our mouths to share the Tao principle with anybody else. Our friends, our loved one, our relative, or our colleagues. Don't sometimes become their good friends, and then when we have opportunity, we will share the Tao principle with them. Okay, do the best we can. Don't worry about the result. They will receive Tao or not. Don't even worry about that result. Just do it. Okay. It is because the heaven's grace and holy teachers' virtue that those protect all of us. Okay, bless all of us. We are very lucky, very good. We are very fortunate to be this group. Holy teacher talk about it. The endless diseases and pains, sadness, worries. One cannot describe completely all the tearful separations with the passing away of loved ones. During the pandemic period in America, we have close to 1.1 million people die. The whole world is more than 5-6 million people die. But Buddha talk about it, said the number is more than that because some countries did not report the real numbers. Okay, but a lot of loved ones pass away. They don't even have a chance to say goodbye to their loved ones. Okay, so this is pretty sad. Pretty very, very hard for a lot of people. Even now, we have to be careful. We think the pandemic is over. It's not over. We have people in Iowa. It's different kind of virus now. We have people in Iowa just received some different kind of virus 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago. And then whole week is so weak, so tired. You cannot even do nothing. You cannot even do anything at all. So it's different kind of virus. We all have to be careful now. Okay, we don't relax. We think it's over. It's not over. Okay, it's just happened a couple weeks ago. It happened to some of our Tao members in Iowa. Okay, so hopefully everybody still pay attention to the virus. It's different from the pandemic virus. It's not COVID-19. Okay, but it's different virus. We have to be careful there. Okay, at least the death rate in the beginning of COVID-19, death rate was very high. At least now in much better situation, but we still have to pay attention. So during we're going to have a Dharma class in New York on May 27 and 28th, right? We have to be careful there. We're still going to wear the face mask, wear the mask. We have some requirement there. So we want to make sure everybody stay careful. And then all the chair, we're going to put certain distance from each other, okay? Certain things we will take with a very careful approach to make sure everybody's protected, okay? Holy teacher, I think that the time has turned or brought upon the corrective karma retributions, okay? Yeah, so Holy teacher is kind of, Saising means express the sadness, relief, or a similar feeling. That because the corrective karma retribution, okay, cause and effect, or we can call causalities, okay? That's why, because there are always cause, there are always consequence later on, the effect. So we planted seeds many lives ago, or even this lifetime. We have to willing to accept the consequence. Okay, so a lot of corrective karma retribution comes. Okay, so Holy Teacher said, how can one not know the beginning, the end relationship of Tao and calamity? Why? So Tao arrived because there are a lot of communities. Heaven is so kind, so kind. Don't want the good people to suffer, to die. That's why Tao is available to save those souls, those spirits. We are very lucky, very fortunate group, okay? Tao's responsibility is to save, to rescue people from calamity, from tragedies, by guiding people to reform and harmonize on the body, mind, and spirits. We always worry about our body only. But Holy Teachers talk about mind and spirits, okay? Our souls, okay? We need to harmonize our body, mind, and soul, okay? We need to truly treat the cause of calamities so that the calamity can be gone, okay? But unfortunately, because humans' minds are different, are not as pure as old days, okay? So that's why a lot of calamities, you can hear whole world, because I just saw the number in like Turkey and Syria had an earthquake. More than 60,000 people died, just one earthquake. More than 60,000 people died. And over 120,000 people injured. Just one earthquake, 6 people gone. 60,000 people gone, died. And 120,000 people suffer because of injury. Okay, anything can happen. A lot of tragedies, a lot of calamities happen every day, okay? So we need to appreciate everything, every day, what we have, okay? Then Holy Teacher talk about the virus. When the virus produce the attack, okay? The virus, I remember 2002, there was a SARS. 2019, there's a pandemic. There always going to be the other virus coming down the road, okay? Every certain years going to come to with all these virus attack. That's why human being, all the teacher want us to keep going down. Teacher will teach us what to do. We need to maintain the calm. We need to control our emotion. We need to keep our emotion down. Okay, how the teacher going to teach us what to do? So, and then how the teacher talk about the news stories, digital means like a phone, emails, website, online software, like video meetings, or conference, like what we use Zoom meetings, help us to communicate together, becomes a ways of communication. That's a way. I remember years ago during the Dharma class, all the teachers told us, you guys can use the video conference or for the meeting or for the class. But we didn't take seriously. We didn't think time is the right yet. But a couple of years later on, we find out we need to use that. Okay? Especially one way, that's a way to help all of us to keep communicating, to help each other. Holy teacher said that when the spacing or distance becomes a kind of stability, okay, very critical. Because I remember during the pandemic period, people are afraid of each other, to see each other or visit each other, which is the result of pandemic. Okay. Battle after battles of establishing pandemic prevention. Remember that we have a lot of prevention in the whole world, in every country. But in the meantime, so many people and matters have been tested. So many things have to be tested. There are many true heroes have undertaken so much pressure, but for the doctors, for the nurses, and for the medical community, like frontline workers, they got a lot of pressures there. I remember we have a temple host in Oklahoma. She was a nurse. She told us she was taking she was working one floor in the hospital. All the patients on the one floor, they are all pandemic. They are all patients who got the COVID-19. All of them, every patient. Okay, so I remember one time Holy Teacher said that one thing. If we know we go to take care of those people, we are the frontline worker, doctor, nurses, all of them. Are we willing to go to frontline to help them or not? Sometimes we worry about our own lives. We worry about our own life. But Holy Teacher said, in this situation, don't be afraid. If we are willing to help them in the front line, if something happened to us, we will become saints of Buddha immediately. Okay? So don't be afraid. Holy Teacher encourage all of us. Don't be afraid of it. Okay? Sometimes we worry our own life, right? But one thing, we are very lucky and fortunate. As soon as we receive Tao, we are willing to cultivate, propagate Tao, means to bring people to receive Tao, to join our group, to cultivate. We accumulate enough merits and virtues. Don't worry about the life and death. Don't worry. We will be there one day. We'll be in the absolute heaven one day, okay? As long as we have enough merits and virtues, okay? Follow the temple regulation, do the right thing, based on our conscience, based on our true nature, okay? As long as we do that, don't worry. No matter when we go, we will be there. No matter when we go, we will be there. So that will at least solve our problem of life and death problem, okay? As we are very lucky, very fortunate group, okay? So Buddha always say one thing. I remember Buddha always say one thing. We don't know how fortunate, how lucky we are until the moment we are ready to leave this world. Until the moment we are ready to leave this world, we will know how fortunate and lucky we are because we know where we'll be going, okay? Okay, I know that's very, very important for all of us, okay? Just do the right thing every day. Don't worry about too much, okay? Holy Teacher talk about it. So many prayers from the recitation of sutra and scripture that brought so much harmony, peace, calm to Tao cultivator and the world. So we are very appreciative for those players to recite recitation from the recitation of the sutra and scriptures. They will help all of us. They will protect all of us. Okay, protect all the Tao cultivators. Okay, protect all the people in the human being in the world and sentient being in the world. Holy teacher said that because of Tao. Yes. Oh, we have a Chinese on the top here, but at the end of all those Chinese scriptures, you can sing a song. There's a melody there, so we can talk about. We translate to English for everybody, all of us, because there's a Tao. We need to have loving kindness. We are the Buddha. We were the Buddha before. We are the Buddha today. We will be the Buddha in the future too. We have a loving kindness. We have a compassion. We have a joy. That means happiness. And we have a giving. We are willing to give. And charity are giving. Okay, it means we are ready to help whoever needs help. As before, we have done this so many lifetimes, not just this lifetime. So we are willing to do all those again. Keep doing what we are doing. Okay? These are the 4 immeasurable miles. Okay? We need to keep doing what we are doing. Okay? Because of Tao, we are able to spread true Tao principle and create miracles. There are so many miracles there. So many. We just didn't know that. Sometimes saints and Buddha, even our holy teacher, try to remind all of us what they did for us. Okay? But we don't need to. We don't need that. We know that. They are behind all of us every day. We have to be careful. Every day when we walk on the street, when we are home, when we are somewhere, there are saints and Buddha with us all the time. All the time. Holy Qigong said that at least in our body, there are 3 saints with us. Outside, there's reporting angel with us too. They're reporting every day what we have done, what we have thought, what good thing we have done. He reporting angel recorded everything done. Okay, he recorded everything. Okay, so we have to be careful what we do, what we think, every right moment. We have to be careful there. Okay, that when we do good things, we create a merit. We have a virtues. When we do bad things, we create a bad karma for ourselves. So we have to be very careful. Even we have a bad thought, what happened? One bad thought create 1 seed of bad karma. One bad thought create 1 seed of reincarnation. Be careful. One thought, just one thought alone, will create a bad karma and also create a bad seeds of reincarnation for us. So every day, not just what we do, is include what we think. We have to watch out what we think. Okay? Always positive, pure, good thoughts. Because of Tao, because there's a Tao. Sentient being. Sentient being means human being and animals are able to break away, are able to escape from the bitter seed. Because of Tao, all the human beings and animals who receive Tao will be able to escape from the bitter seed. We talk about bitter seed, right? In the universe, in the underworld, hell, and also temporary. Those are the bitter seed. Reincarnation, bitter seed. Okay? The cycle of reincarnation. Birth, death, rebirth. Okay? So that's called bitter seed. So now at least we know what the bitter seed, what the reincarnation means. Okay? Because there is Tao. Entrust this life in the vows taken to cultivate and propagate. We make the vows in the heaven, in the absolute heaven before. We make the vow in absolute heaven before. If we didn't make a vow in the absolute heaven, we will not make the same vow in this lifetime. Okay. I remember there's one lecture. He wanted to make a vow in the temple. And then Buddha came in to stop him from making a vow, from making that vow. Okay, because the Buddha said he didn't make that vow when he was in absolute heaven. So you should not make a vow at this moment. So all the vow we are making today, pretty much we make the same vow in the heaven, in the absolute heaven before. Okay, so we need to take seriously. When we make a vow, we need to fulfill our vow. And then we need to cultivate and propagate Tao. Okay, we to repay the grace of heaven, great virtue of holy teacher continuously, means non-stop. We need to continue to keep doing that. Okay, we are very fortunate because we want to repay the heaven's grace, holy teacher's virtue, and our ancestors and parents. Because of them, that's why we can receive the Tao today. There are three kinds of people who cannot receive Tao. What are they? There are three kinds of people who will not be able to receive Tao. If they don't believe Tao, they don't trust the Tao. If they don't have vow, they cannot receive Tao. The third one is if they don't have affinities, they cannot receive Tao. So three types of people, they will not be able to receive Tao. Okay, so the reason why they cannot receive that because their affinities are not mature yet. We have to wait. So Holy Teacher always told us every time. I remember so many times. Every time we try to introduce Tao to the people, some people are very, very not willing to receive Tao at all. We should not even force people to do that. We need to follow their affinities. We need to follow their affinities. Don't force them to receive Tao. Very, very, very important, okay? All days, sometimes we force a little bit. Teacher always remind us, don't do that. We need to follow their affinity for them to receive Tao. If we force them to receive Tao, they are not happy. Once they receive Tao, they go out, they will criticize the Tao, criticize what we have done. Then they will create big karma for themselves. They will not help them. They will not help them. Okay? So we should not force people to receive Tao. We need to make sure people are so happy, are willing to receive Tao, then we can bring them to receive Tao. We need to, every time when the people want to receive Tao, we need to get their background, their information, to report to lecturers or temple hosts, then report to transmitter. Then transmitter have to decide, can the person receive Tao or not? Can the person receive Tao or not? A lot of time we don't do this kind of procedure. We should not. We need to follow those procedures. Okay, very, very important. We just bring the people to the temple. We don't even know the background. We don't even know the background. Can we let them receive Tao immediately? We have to be careful of that. So Holy Teacher even said that if some people have a sickness very seriously, what happened? Then we even ask Holy Teacher, what should we do? Teacher said we have to make sure the person's family, they all receive Tao. The whole family of the person need to cultivate it all together. It's not just receive Tao, also cultivate Tao together. Then we ask Holy Teacher, said, this is going to be very hard. Very hard. Holy Teacher said, yeah, Teacher knows. But affinity sometimes not mature enough. So Holy Teacher wants us to transfer some merits. When people receive Tao, when we have a class, we have merits to transfer to those people who need a credit, or merits. Hopefully, their affinity will mature quickly for them to receive Tao one day. Okay? So that's Holy Teacher remind all of us to do that. Okay? Next one, Holy Teacher talk about because of Tao, we need to carry out the holy missions in the middle of dangers and disaster, achieving ourselves. So Holy Teacher remind ourselves, because of Tao, we need to carry out. Because we have a holy mission. We have holy duties for ourselves. Even we are facing dangers, disasters, tragedies, but we still need to do it. We need to shoulder the missions, okay? In order to achieve ourselves, for ourselves, one day we will become saints and Buddha again, okay? Holy Teacher said, because there's a Tao, we need to strengthen the ambitions. We need to make the strong ambitions of will to cultivate and propagate. We're going to facing a lot of challenges and difficulty, struggles, and then issues. But in the meantime, we need to have very strong will or ambitions to cultivate and propagate. No matter what happens in our lifetime, we tell ourselves, we're going to continue to cultivate and propagate the Tao until last moment of our lives, okay? But we are not alone, because there are so many Tao members with all of us. In the meantime, the saints of Buddha are with us. In the meantime, we also have a true nature in ourselves. Okay, when we talk about true nature, sometimes we call true nature, or we call Buddha nature, or we call true self. They are the same thing. True nature, Buddha self, Buddha nature, true self. There, we talk about the same thing. But true Buddha nature has everything. Has everything. A lot of time we admire, we hope we have a big house, big car, we are famous, or we are rich and powerful. No. True nature, our Buddha nature has everything. Has everything. Okay? That's what Buddha keep telling all of us. Qigong Buddha told us again the same thing here. Our true nature, our Buddha nature has everything. We don't know about that. Okay? So we are not alone. But we also have a true nature inside. We talk about true nature in inside ourselves, our body. Outside, we also have a true nature. Other location also have a true nature. Absolute heaven has our true nature. Hell has our true nature. Everywhere. So our true nature is everywhere. Everywhere. Not just in our body, physical body. It's everywhere. Okay, everybody should know that. Our true nature is everywhere. Okay? Okay. So if we say, for example, I'm in Texas now, today, okay? If I go to New York, I don't need to bring my true nature there, because my true nature is also there, okay? Yeah. I know that I'm in Texas today. Texas is very hot today. We have a 95 degree today, so it's pretty hot today, okay? And I don't need New York area, it's only about 60 degree today. But Texas is 95 degrees today. So you see, every location is different. But one thing is, no matter where we go, we don't need to bring true nature with us. Okay. One day we have to go back to absolute heaven. We do not have to bring true nature with us. We have a true nature there too. Okay. Because there's a Tao, there's a protection. We are waiting to cultivate and propagate Tao. See, Holy Teacher said that. Holy Teacher said that. Now we said that. Okay, we may not know everything, but Holy Teacher told all of us, because the Tao is available. That's why there's a protection for all of us. But if we are waiting to cultivate and propagate, means we are waiting to cultivate and propagate to accumulate enough merits and virtues. To cultivate means, I said it before, we are waiting to get rid of our bad temper, bad habit. We all have some, okay? Always have a rooms for improvement. Because cultivate means we need to change ourselves. We need to get rid of bad temper, bad habit, desires, attachments, three poisons, greed, anger, stubbornness, or ignorance. Get rid of like or dislike, okay? We are waiting to propagate. What does propagate? Propagate means we are waiting to introduce Tao to other people. We are waiting to bring people to receive Tao, for them to join us. Okay? So that's why propagate. So once we waiting to do that, what did you say? There's a protection for all of us if we're waiting to do it. Okay? We are very good, very fortunate group, and happy and lucky to be the group. Because there's a Tao, wishing you peace and well-being, means healthy and happy. That's all we need, right? Tao is protecting, bless all of us, wish all of us peace, wish all of us healthy, wish all of us happy. So that's what Holy Teacher said. So once we receive Tao, we start to cultivate. What happened? Every day we should be very happy. Every day we are carefree, free of worries. Every day we are so warm, we are pure. Everything we do is based on our conscience, based on our true nature. Whatever we should get, we should receive, we should get, we got it. Whatever don't belong to us, we will not even get it. We will not even against our conscience to do it. Be careful. A lot of times, cause and effect. Karma is there. We think nobody knows. No. Saint Buddha knows everything. Be careful, especially for all of us. If we want to become saints and Buddha one day, we need to make sure we don't do anything against our conscience. We don't do anything against our true nature. Okay? Based on our conscience, based on our true nature. Okay? Then one day we will be there. Don't worry, we will be there. We're waiting to do it. Follow the temple regulation. Follow what Holy Teacher told us here. Keep doing what we're supposed to do. Okay? This is a melody because there's a Tao. So there's a song. A melody because of Tao, you can sing a song. Okay, interesting. Saints of Buddha, they can give the scriptures and also wisdoms, but there's a song, you can, haha, okay? Holy Teacher talk about observing disciples' sincere hearts. They move heaven and touch earth. So if we have very sincere hearts and they will touch heaven, will move earth too. So heaven, earth, saints and Buddha, they all can feel our sincere hearts. Okay? Embracing the vow with complete sincerity and commitment. So once we made the vow, what happened? We need to have a complete sincerity, and commitment. Say we're going to fulfill it. We're going to do it. We are determined to do it, fulfill our vow, become saints and Buddha in this lifetime. Some people will say, okay, now you got motivation. You want to become saints and Buddha. But at least that's the direction we are willing to do. Once we have a direction, become saints of Buddha. We know where the goal, where we want to do. Then one day, you will go back to absolute permanent heaven, or we call absolute heaven. We can make a vow to come down again to help more human beings and animals. We can come down again because of vow. But we can choose where we want to go. When Saint Buddha came down to reborn, they can choose which family, which location they want to reborn. Okay? Usually they choose the place, family, temple, or place they can receive Tao, they can cultivate and propagate Tao in their lifetime. But normal people, when they go back, they do not have a choice. They will come down because of their karma. They will come down to reborn, to reincarnate because of their karma. So saints of Buddha are different, or angels are different. They can choose which family, which location they want to reborn. Okay? So they will choose certain place, certain family to reborn. That's big difference. Okay? Human being, a lot of people don't have a choice. Okay? Choices. Holy Teacher talk about advice frequently. Use the Tao to transform those who carry affinity. So we need to help. Bring Tao to those people who has affinity with the Buddha. We need to help them. We need to explain the Tao principle with them so they can receive Tao. They can cultivate and propagate Tao. We need to guide. We need to lead those lost souls. The most important Those are the lost spirits. Okay, that's why we always talk about what's different Tao and religion. Tao try to save the souls, the spirits. Okay, because sometimes we help the people, the homeless or the beggar with the food. We only help their physical body so they can eat. That even they are very important to help them fund. Because a lot of the homeless, a lot of people, they are hungry. Okay, we help them. That's important because, but we help them on physical side of it. But in the meantime, Tao will save the soul, save their soul, save their spirits. Okay, to awaken and study the principle of sages. So we need to guide them, help them. Those what we call lost soul, lost means we are in reincarnation. That's why they are lost. Include all of us today. We are still lost. From Buddha point of view, we are still lost. We are not back yet. Means we are lost. But we are very lucky enough. We are today. We understand. We receive Tao. We cultivate and propagate Tao. So we accumulate enough merits and virtues. So one day we can go back where we came from originally. Because awaken, very important there. Very important. And then we can learn from sages and Buddhas to know what they are doing. We do the same thing. If today we help people, help the sentient being and animals, human beings and animals, we help them. We are the Buddha at the right moment. We don't need to wait until the moment we have to go back to absolute heaven. When we are helping the people and animals in this lifetime, at the right moment, we are the Buddhas already. We are the saints Buddhas already. Okay? Don't wait until one day we want to go back to absolute heaven. No. We need to make this life, our families, our temples become like heaven. We need to be treat each other with respect, help each other like brother and sister. So that's very important for all of us. Holy teacher talk about save, cultivate, and practice. Every day, we need to save, cultivate, and practice. We don't need anybody to push us, force us to do it. We will do it automatically. We need to follow temple regulation and rules regularly. Okay? Don't think nobody watching. No. Sense the Buddha watching every right moment. Okay? We have to be careful of that. And we need to lead or guide the people so do not become lost. We want to make sure people are not lost. Do not lost in the bitter sea. That's what it means. Lost in the bitter sea. We want to let people help people to avoid reincarnation. Okay? So we don't want to keep secret. The secret means we need to spread the Tao, to bring the Tao principle, bring the Tao to everybody else. Okay, besides ourselves. So Holy Teacher, very kind, teach us what to do. Okay, self-cultivate and practice every day what we learn. Today we talk about get rid of our bad temper, bad habit, attachments, desires, get rid of 3 poisons, greed, anger, stubbornness, or ignorance, and do not get rid of like or dislike. We learn it, we practice, we apply to our daily life. Okay, and then we always follow the temple rules and regulation. We will not break the rules. Okay, we always make sure whatever we do, whatever think, assuming Buddha watching. In the beginning, we will think, okay, Buddha watching me now, so I have to be careful. But later on, we don't even need to think Buddha watching or not. We will automatically do the right thing based on our conscience, based on our true nature. Okay. Next one. Holy teachers, this is also very important. Holy teachers have asked all of us, so we take this opportunity to ask ourselves, have we introspected upon the pandemic and trial? During this period, have we introspected? Okay? Teachers say we need to reflect, self-correct, establish virtues and merits in order to what? Get rid of calamities. Because we have merits and virtues, we can get rid of, we can offset the calamity and big karma. Okay? So Holy Teacher wants us to self-reflect ourselves, every day, every moment, in the morning, at night, before sleep. We need to self-reflect ourselves. Can we do better today? If I did, have we done something wrong today? We want to make sure whatever mistake or anything we didn't do well today, we want to make sure tomorrow we can do better. We want to do better tomorrow. So we want to self-correct ourselves, okay? And then we also want to establish, accumulate enough virtues and merits for ourselves, okay? To offset our big karma, okay? Everyone has karma. Everyone has karma. That's why we are here today, okay? Some like our senior transmitters, some of our people may not have that many karma. But for myself, I think I have a lot of karma. I need to help myself to self-reflect, self-correct, and accumulate enough virtues and merit to offset my big karma there. Okay? For those who has wisdom, do we have wisdom? Sometimes we say, you are very smart. Let's normal people talk about smart. From Buddha point of view, we always talk about wisdom. We want to have wisdom, okay? So if we have wisdom, we will what? Introspect quickly and awaken quickly after a short period of time. Sometimes we think about bad thinking, bad thought. Quickly we say, okay, we should not do that. We should not think that way, okay? We will be awakened quickly, okay? After a short period of time. Don't become inverted. Sometimes, you know what happened to us? Because we are getting, after cultivate, when we cultivate and then we propagate down, we think we have a lot of merits. We become very arrogant. We become very arrogant. We are not humble. So what? Becomes inverted. Sometimes we are upside down. We think we are the best. We are above everybody else. That's the problem we're going to face there. And then we break the rule of temple regulation. And we might suffer the consequence eventually. We have to pay for it. We have to pay for it eventually. Okay? So we have to be careful there. Okay? So I think we're going to stop here. If I say something improperly, I ask forgiveness from the God, saints, and Buddha, and the transmitters, lectures, temple hosts, and all of you to give me some advices. And I would like to transform those credit of today's class to those who need merits and credit to make sure their affinity is mature enough for them to receive that, able to cultivate with all of us. Thank you, everybody.